Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Teacher Meryl here. It's nice to see you. Let's start with our good morning song like we always do. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright shining faces, and this is the way we start our new day. Good morning, everyone. Before I talk to you about dandelions today, I thought we would do a little dandelion breathing meditation. So I want you to imagine that you are holding the biggest seed puff you've ever seen. A dandelion with its puffy seed head. I want you to imagine you're holding the biggest one. And when we take our first deep breath, we're going to take the deepest breath and blow all those dandelion seeds out into the world. Are you ready? Okay. And now I want you to imagine that you're watching all those seeds floating around, floating outside in a big grassy field. And I want you to close your eyes and keep taking deep breaths and just imagine those seeds floating. Maybe some of them are floating up, 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 higher than you can see. Now they're disappearing into the blue sky. Maybe some of them are floating up over a fence and landing in the yard of a neighbor. Maybe some of them find a place to rest right away underneath a tree or in some dirt. And maybe some of them are hard to see because they start to float so far away. Take a few more deep breaths as you imagine the last of your dandelion seeds finding a place to rest and a place to grow. And when all your dandelion seeds have found their place, you can open your eyes and join me. Thank you. Today we're going to take a look at dandelions again. Last week I showed you some dandelions that I had taken from the yard and put inside of a vase. And I have those dandelions still. I did a little experiment with them. I wanted to see if the dandelions would keep growing or stay alive while they were just in water with no dirt. So, if you'll remember, there was one dandelion in here that I had plucked from the ground, and it's still alive. It's still standing up nice and tall. And there was another one that I had taken the whole taproot out of. I showed you this one last week with its taproot and all the little roots coming off of it. And this one is also alive and well, standing straight up tall. And I can tell that they're still alive because they haven't wilted and fallen over. They don't look brown and dead. And all of the leaves inside still look nice and green and healthy. This one, the tallest one, used to have a little bit of yellow flower still left, and now I've noticed it changed and I can see the seed head starting to pop out. This one already had its seed head started, but neither of them have opened up until that puffy ball that we just imagined. And I wonder if that's because it hasn't gotten enough sunlight in the kitchen, or if it won't open up if it's just in water. Or maybe it has to be outside to open up. I'm not sure. But I'm going to keep watching these dandelions and see if they change at all. It's fun for me to keep them inside and watch them each day. All right. Now I have another experiment today, one that you can do at home. If you find some dandelions, whether it's in your yard or at the park or along the sidewalk, dandelions grow in a lot of places. You're going to need to pick a few, and you're wanting the stems. So make sure that you reach down to the bottom and pluck the stem off so that you can use the stem, because we're going to learn about the dandelion stem and something cool that it does today. So let's look at, I picked a few dandelions out of the yard to show you. Here is this dandelion, and I'm going to pluck the head off the dandelion because we don't need that part. This is the flower head. And we're left with the stem. And we talked last week about how the stem is hollow, which means it has a hole in it. It has a hole going through it. And this experiment is to show us how a dandelion stem absorbs water. It's how it sucks up water to feed the dandelion plant. So, because it's hollow, if we go to the edge, we can start to pick it apart a little bit. And what you want to be able to do is peel it down so you have kind of two parts like this. Some stems might be easier than others, so it's good to grab a couple. But we're going to peel it down a little bit. Now, we're going to put it into a bowl of water and see what happens. Now, I have some stems that have already been sitting in the water because sometimes it can take a little bit of time for this to happen. So I'll show you one of them. And the two pieces have totally curled up into little spirals. They did that all by themselves inside the water. I'll show you another one where only one side of it spiraled. But look at this. It spiraled all the way and wrapped around the other side of the stem. Now the reason for this is because the inside of the stem, the part that we just ripped, the inside loves water. It's called hydrophilic. It loves it. It wants to soak up as much water as it can to feed the dandelion. And the outside layer of the stem repels water, which means it pushes it away. It's hydrophobic. It doesn't really like water. It helps it when the dandelion gets too much water on it. If it rains a lot on the dandelion, it can just wash right off. So when we open it up and bring that part that loves the water out, that part soaks up so much water that the cells inside get so big that it makes it curl because the other side isn't growing at all. So it's pretty fun to see how these dandelion stems curl up entirely as they soak up so much water. It's a fun experiment to do, and I think they look pretty fun too. I feel like you could make art out of these also. They look like little eyes now. All right, so that's a fun experiment that you can do at home. I also just wanted to show you, because I went into the yard to look at all the different dandelions, there were some dandelions I found whose stems were about this short. And I knew that teacher Erica was talking to you about rulers yesterday, and I thought, I have a ruler, I could bring out a ruler and measure how long my dandelion stem is. So this one has curled up a little bit, but this stem was about 5 inches long. That's about this long. But this dandelion was growing where there was just a little bit of short grass, and it was easy for it to grow up just a little bit and get some sunlight. But in the side yard, there are a lot of tall plants over there, and it's hard for a dandelion to get sunlight if it doesn't grow tall also so that it can reach up to the sun. So look at the dandelion that I found over there. This one is as tall as me when I'm sitting up. And when I take a ruler to measure it, it is taller than one ruler. So that's 1 foot. And then I can hold it up to here. That's 2 feet. It's a little wiggly. 2 feet and 4 inches tall. Look how long that is. And the stem is much thicker if you look at the difference between this tiny stem and this huge stem. It's incredible. Dandelions can grow to all different sizes. And maybe when you find dandelions, you might find some that are very tall. You might find some that are very short. It's exciting that a dandelion can grow in all different sizes. All right, so we've taken a look at our dandelions from last week. We did a little experiment with their stems to find out how they absorb water. And we've looked at their different sizes also. And I'm going to send home a little something for you so that you can look at the plant's life cycle. We've been looking at all different parts of this plant, from its roots to its stems to its flowers and its seed heads. And the life cycle of a plant is how it grows and lives. So here's one tiny seed with its little parachute, and we looked at this last week too. And that little seed is going to fly somewhere, land on the ground, and sprout. And the first thing it will sprout will some tiny little leaves. And after the leaves, it'll grow bigger leaves, and then it'll start to grow a stem, and then the beautiful yellow dandelion flower that we know. And then that dandelion flower will close up, and when it opens again next time, we'll have our seed head. So I'm going to send along a little something that looks kind of like this. And I'm going to leave the arrows out so that you can draw your own arrows in between the things that happen in the dandelion life cycle, from the seed all the way back around to the seed head that makes new seeds for new dandelions. So you can work on that today. All right, I'm going to move my things aside, and I have a special book that I want to read to you. This book is a book that's very special to me because it's about giving thanks. Now, we're used to giving thanks and saying things we're grateful for during Thanksgiving time, and sometimes I read this book around Thanksgiving, but I feel grateful and thankful for things all year round. And so did the native peoples of this country. And this is a book by a Native American man named Chief Jake Swamp, and it's called Giving Thanks, a Native American Good Morning Message. And in Chief Jake Swamp's culture and community, they say thank you every single morning for all of the things that Mother Nature gives to us. And when I was outside this morning picking those dandelions, I was feeling very thankful for dandelions. I was feeling thankful for the rain that comes down and waters the dandelions and helps them to grow. I was thankful for the dirt that the dandelions grow in and all the other beautiful flowers around, the squirrels that were climbing up the trees. I was thankful I can hear the birds, and thankful that I get to come today and listen and talk to you guys. So I'm going to read Giving Thanks. To be a human being is an honor, and we offer thanksgiving for all the gifts of life. Mother Earth, we thank you for giving us everything that we need. Thank you to the deep blue waters around Mother Earth, for you are the force that takes thirst from all the living beings. We give thanks to green grasses that feel so good against our bare feet, for the cool beauty you bring to Mother Earth's floor. Thank you, good foods from Mother Earth, our life sustainers, for making us happy when we are hungry. Fruits and berries, we thank you for your color and sweetness. We are all thankful to good medicine herbs for healing us when we are sick. Thank you, all the animals in the world, for keeping our precious forests clean. All the trees in the world, we are thankful for the shade and the warmth you give us. Thank you, all the birds in the world, for singing your beautiful songs for us to enjoy. We give thanks to you, gentle four winds, for bringing clean air for us to breathe from all four directions. Thank you, grandfather thunder beings, for bringing rains that help all living things grow. Elder brother sun, we thank you for shining your light and warming Mother Earth. Thank you, Grandmother Moon, for growing full every month to light the darkness for children and sparkling waters. We give you thanks, twinkling stars, for making the night sky so beautiful and for sprinkling morning dewdrops on all the plants. Spirit protectors of our past and present, we thank you for showing us ways to live in peace and harmony with one another. And most of all, thank you, Great Spirit, for giving us all these wonderful gifts so we will be happy and healthy every day and every night. When I see this picture and I hear them talking about spirits of the past, I think about people who I've known who have passed away, or people who lived a long, long time ago, who knew things and found out things that help us every day. Like Kathy Maynard, who brought dandelions to Seattle. Without her, we wouldn't have dandelions here. And she knew that they were a helpful plant. Or people who invented medicines, people who learned how to make houses. I'm thankful for all the people before us who did all kinds of things so that we can have those things. And this book makes me feel thankful for you, thankful that I get to send these videos your way and spend time with you, even if it's through a video. I'm thankful that we have this connection, and I'm thankful that I get to be your teacher. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy finding some dandelions today and doing some experiments with them. And I'll see you next time. Bye.